the championship in this race. If he finishes 9th, he'll score 7 points. They will be 50 points apart, and there will be 50 points left on the table, but the tie-break would go to Wilfred Turner because he's got more race victories. So that's the target, 9th place, the target for Wilfred Turner. If he gets that, then he is champion regardless of what Joe Higham can achieve. So the numbers then to watch out for as far as that championship battle are concerned: 19 is Joe Higham, the man that starts on pole position and won yesterday, and 38 Wilfred Turner, the black and yellow bike, which starts right at the back of the field. Round then on the green flag lap, and track conditions still much the same as they were at the start of the day. That damp patch has gone now in the middle of the park straight though, which is good news. So a completely dry circuit over here. May still be a couple of damp patches underneath the trees in the Hall Bends, I suppose, but certainly the lap times we've seen today have been pretty rapid. So track conditions looking good. So one of the 6 championships that could be decided today, likely to be decided over the next 9 laps of racing then. The race wins then this year. Wilfred Turner didn't actually win the first race of the year. It's one of the few that he didn't win. Higham was the first winner at Donington, with Wilfred Turner winning the other 3 races at Donington Park. Alton Park, though, started a bit of a lean spell for Wilfred Turner. Higham took all 3 victories at Alton to take the championship lead, whilst Wilfred had 2 second places and a 4th place across the 3 races there. Then last time we were at Cadwell Park, Wilfred Turner didn't score in the first race, but neither did Joe Higham. Then race 2 went to Higham, race 3 went to Turner, and race 4 went to Joe Higham again. So at this point, it really was looking like Higham's championship to lose. He won again then at Croft in the first race at the next event. But then Wilfred Turner went on an incredible streak of race victories. He won the other 3 races at Croft, he won all 4 races at Anglesey, and the first 2 races at Donington Park. He won 9 races on the bounce, did Wilfred Turner. Then he had a second in the 3rd race and another win in race 4 at Donington Park. So 10 race victories out of the last 11 for Wilfred Turner is what's given him this big championship advantage. But Joe Higham winning yesterday whilst Wilfred was racing at Alton Park means he has brought that gap down ever so slightly. Grid then almost formed now. Waiting for the last couple of riders to get into position. One of them will be Wilfred Turner, of course. Keep an eye then to the black and yellow number 38 at the tail end of the field. At the front of the field, though, it's Higham, Hunt and Williams on the front row. Who's going to get into that first corner first? There is a yellow flag again being prepared. So another rider that's maybe hit some mechanical issues, but the race gets underway. 9 laps of racing then get started, and it is, by the looks of it, not Joe Higham that will have the lead, or he's being challenged at least by Benjamin Williams there on the white number 42 Honda as they went into the first corner. Who gets into Charlie's first? It's Higham back ahead though. Higham has the advantage then. Williams second, and Jonathan Hunt, by the looks of it, slots into third, but Williams now challenging Higham for the lead coming out of Charlie's. Tried to dip to the right hand side of Joe, couldn't quite do it. Wilfred Turner, by the way, has already passed about half of the field. So Wilfred Turner from the back of the grid, I reckon, is into about 14th or 15th place already. That was an absolutely storming start from the championship leader, and that 7th place finish is now looking an awful lot more realistic. 7th place is what he needs to wrap up the championship if Joe Higham wins the race, but right now that doesn't look certain because Benjamin Williams is tucked right up underneath him as they come through the gooseneck and drop downhill into Mansfield. The top 3 go through. There's one on the grass further back. Let's hope they stay upright. It's a red bike. It's heading for the barriers. It's so far off the circuit it almost has to pay to get back in, but thankfully stays on its wheels and will rejoin, having lost about a dozen places or so. Well, that was a scary place to go grass tracking. Briefly yellow flags displayed at the top of the hill, but that was just coming out of the gooseneck. One rider didn't turn left basically and went straight across the grass, but disaster averted thankfully. So Joe Higham then feeling the pressure from Ben Williams over the first half a lap. As they come towards the end of this opening lap though, what is the gap going to be? Is Higham starting to get away, or can Williams genuinely go and challenge for a race win? Williams hasn't won a race yet this year, and he's now running out of opportunities to do so. It's Higham that leads though at the end of lap 1, Williams in second, side by side there for 3rd place. That was Jonathan Hunt, no it wasn't, it was Thomas Jackson and Curtis Milburn side by side for 3rd. Hunt is down to 5th. As for the championship leader, by the way, where is Wilfred Turner? He is 10th already. Wilfred Turner gained 23 positions on the opening lap, and he's now only a few positions away from that all-important 7th place. We'll watch for him as he comes out of Charlie's. There he comes, the black and yellow number 38. He's He's got the 666 of Michael Shepherd ahead of him, and he's going to try and challenge Michael, I think, as they go towards Park Corner. He looks up the inside, and I reckon Wilfred Turner might have gained another position then as they go into the top end of the circuit. 10th position from outside of the top 30 on the grid. That is absolutely remarkable. Higham getting away out in front then, so the 25 points looking good for him, but it might not be enough here because Wilfred Turner has gained another place now as he comes through the gooseneck. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8th place now for Wilfred Turner. He needs one more position and then he is in, provisionally at least, a championship winning place. So 7th place, I believe, is being held by Michael Holden, number 14. If Wilfred Turner can get past him, then that would be enough for the title. Knowing Wilfred though, I don't think he'll settle for 7th. He'll want to try and get right to the front of the field if he can. Joe Higham might be out of reach, but an overall podium is definitely on the cards. He's in that group of bikes that are squabbling for 3rd place. So a top 3 finish for Wilfred from the back of the grid might still be achievable. Joe Higham then with a 8/10 of a second lead at the end of the opening lap. I think that's gone out again this time. As Ben Williams just, I think he's had his opportunity, hasn't he, to challenge for the victory. The gap officially at the end of the lap is now up to 2.5 seconds, so yeah, Higham is gone. Still Williams second. Curtis Milburn, by the way, has cleared Thomas Jackson now for 3rd place. So Milburn on the 996 Kawasaki into a rostrum place. Jackson is 4th, then is Hunt, Ward, Holden, Shepherd, and Wilfred Turner actually crossed the line in 10th place again. So having gained all of those positions halfway around the lap, Wilfred's been roughed up a little bit somewhere and dropped back down into 10th place. Here he comes out of Charlie's, so yeah, he's just ahead of 28, Chris Fothergill. So I don't know what went on there then for Wilfred Turner, but he's got it all to do again now. It must have been a slow final sector then, because he was absolutely carving his way through up until then. Leader Joe Higham comes out of the gooseneck. Back down the hill then. The battle is on for 4th here as well, isn't it? Thomas Jackson under pressure now from Jonathan Hunt. Jackson the grey machine just staying ahead as they go down the hill. There goes Wilfred Turner, black and yellow number 38. Yamaha in behind the similar machine of Mark Crossley now on the 61. But he hasn't actually made a move on Mark just yet. So as it stands then, Wilfred would score 6 championship points, finishing in that 10th place. He needs this one more to try and get that gap up to 50 points. Has to try and get past Crossley though in order to do it. 7 championship points is what he needs. 6 is what he's scoring at the moment. It's quite tense. There's still 2 races to go, of course, after, but Wilfred won't want to leave this to chance. If he were to have an accident or a mechanical failure afterwards, it could all go horribly wrong for him, couldn't it? New fastest lap for Higham, 136.132, 5.3 seconds ahead of Williams, who's now got the flying Curtis Milburn for company. So Curtis Milburn on that Kawasaki number 996 look is right behind the white Honda as it comes out of Charlie's corner. And gets a good exit as well. Milburn's in the slipstream, and I think he's going to have a go here for that 2nd place. On the inside into Park Corner, Milburn late on the brakes. Does he get to the apex first? I think he might have done. Wilfred Turner almost on the grass there as he goes up the Park Straight, but Thomas Jackson, I think that is, or no, it's not Thomas Jackson, but it was another grey bike, was slow ahead of them, and Wilfred might have passed him by the time they got into Park. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's focus on the 2nd place battle first, because I think it is Milburn ahead. Yes, it is. Milburn's now 2nd then. Williams is 3rd. Then it is Jackson still ahead of Jonathan Hunt. Then Reuben Ward. And then comes the next group. So Ward was 6th. Then it's Holden. And then there goes Wilfred Turner. He is, I think, now into 9th position. And that would just about be enough. But he's in a big gaggle of bikes. He doesn't really want to be in this fight, because it would be quite easy for him to get tangled up with someone and end up losing even more places, or worse, ending up off the road entirely. So he's stuck in a difficult position here, Turner. He wants to attack to try and get into a bit of clean air, but to do that means taking risks that could backfire on him slightly. We'll get it confirmed then as they come across the line, but I reckon Wilfred Turner is now into 9th place. I think he got ahead of Michael Shepherd at the top of the Park Straight. Let's see then, across the line they go. Milburn confirmed in 2nd now ahead of Williams. Thomas Jackson is still fending off Jonathan Hunt for 4th. Reuben Ward Ward on his own in 5th, and then it's the next group that has the championship leader in it, and the championship leader, Wilfred Turner, is 8th. He's into 8th position, so that is enough for Wilfred Turner if he can stay there to the flag, but he really needs to try and get out of this battle pack as quickly as he can. Through Charlie's they're about to come. He's got one more bike ahead of him then in that group, and that will be the 666 actually of Michael Shepherd, who stayed ahead of him. They both kind of worked their way through that group together. Wilfred Turner in the slipstream then, Shepherd ahead of him in 7th, 8th place for Wilfred Turner. He goes up the inside of Park, but I don't think he was quite close enough. So for 8th position, that gets Wilfred 8 championship points, and that would put him 51 ahead of Joe Higham, with 50 still available after this race. So provisionally then, Wilfred Turner in a championship winning position. Can he make more progress though? That's the next question. He's right behind Michael Shepherd coming out of the gooseneck, has a peek to the inside coming down the hill. This is quite a conservative ride actually by Wilfred's standards. I think he does know that he'll have done the maths and worked out exactly what he needs to do. He should know then, he should be getting pit balls of course to say that he's in a championship winning position as well now. So I think he is just thinking twice about some of these slightly riskier moves that he might be tempted to make. Fastest lap still belongs to Higham, by the way, so he's cementing his position on pole position for race number 3 later on. What is going on behind him then? Curtis Milburn now 2nd. Is Ben Williams still 3rd? Yes, he is. Is Tom Jackson still 4th? I'm not sure he is. Yeah, no, he is. Just about ahead of Jonathan Hunt. Then Reuben Ward comes through. And is that Wilfred Turner behind him? I think it might be. Wilfred Turner, yeah, is now 7th place. That's another championship point going his way then. 9 points now going to Wilfred Turner, and he's actually not that far behind Reuben Ward. He was only a second behind him at the line, and that's coming down by the corner. So Wilfred Turner, now he's in clean air, is really showing the true pace that he's got, and he's going to have a go at Reuben, I think, coming down the Park straight. Carries so much more speed off the turn, goes to the right hand side, mirror signal manoeuvre, and through he goes. So up into 6th spot now goes Wilfred Turner, gaining places even almost quicker than I can keep up with it, but that would put him now 53 points ahead of Joe Higham, who can do no more really. So the next battle to watch is the one for 3rd, isn't it? Because Ben Williams, Thomas Jackson, Jonathan Hunt, they're all quite close together as they make their way towards the mountain section. Williams being caught by Jackson and Hunt, who themselves have been squabbling all race long anyway. Jackson getting quicker and quicker actually as the race goes on. He's about to set a personal best lap, I think, unless he gets delayed through the final sector. He's got green in both of the first 2 sectors. Be nice for Thomas to get back on that podium. He's had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 podium finishes so far this year, the number 51 bike, but he hasn't had one for a while. He didn't race at Donington last time. He missed out on the podium yesterday. And he's now running in 4th place again, the place he finished yesterday, but catching 3rd place Benjamin Williams. Higham crosses the line. Getting on for 10 seconds later, the next group will come through, and I think Williams has lost out, hasn't he? Yeah, Jackson's gone through, so Jackson into 3rd place now, then Williams down to 4. He's 2.2 ahead of Hunt though, so Jonathan Hunt lost a lot of time on that lap in the final sector. Maybe a bit of traffic getting in the way perhaps. Through Charlie's they come, again traffic is starting to make its presence felt here, and actually Curtis Milburn gets delayed in all of that, and Thomas Jackson's got past him as well. So Jackson goes 2nd ahead of Curtis Milburn, who came across a back marker through Charlie's that was going very slowly, and Milburn had to lift off the throttle. So Jackson up into 2nd place then, the Triumph ahead of the Kawasaki, the 2 grey machines. Hard to pick them out at a distance, but Jackson swept around the outside to go into 2nd place. So 2 places gained in the last half a lap or so for Thomas. Can he hang on to it though to the flag? He's still ahead as they come through the gooseneck. Benjamin Williams is starting to catch back up to them as well now as they continue to delay each other and get delayed by the lapped bikes. We will have 2 laps to go at the end of this one. We're on lap 7 of 9 now. It is a 7.5 second lead for Joe Higham. He's not going to get caught, is he? But Curtis Milburn, or Thomas Jackson I should say, in 2nd place, has quite a bit of defending to do now to keep Milburn and Williams behind him. Wilfred Turner, by the way, with a personal best lap time last time, 1:36.2. He's comfortably the fastest man on the track. He's 4.1 seconds behind Jonathan Hunt and was 4 seconds quicker than him on the previous lap. So Turner could get 5th here. In fact, he should get 5th. Can he get on the rostrum? He might just run out of time. It depends how much Jackson, Milburn and Williams hold each other up. They come across the line pretty much together, those 3, with Jackson now confirmed in 2nd. Higham the leader by 9 seconds then. He comes out of Charlie's now, the black number 19 bike. Who is second? Is it still the 51 of Thomas Jackson? Yes, it is. Curtis Milburn, though, is only a bike length or so behind him as they go onto the park straight for the penultimate time. Through the dip, Ben Williams dropping back a bit. And you've still got number 40, Jonathan Hunt, the blue Yamaha, ahead of the black and yellow Yamaha of Wilfred Turner. Turner wasn't 4 seconds quicker than him that time. He was only a second and a half quicker, so the gap is still 2.8. And I think with that, Wilfred might have to settle for 5th at best. I think he can still get Hunt, but he's not going to catch the podium battle, is he? Oh, Milburn couldn't have been a lot closer there to Thomas Jackson. In fact, they're side by side out of the gooseneck, but Milburn not late enough on the brakes. Jackson with the wider line can carry a bit more speed into the left-hander, and he'll come out the other side ahead, but again, only by bike length as they turn into the chicane. A back marker ahead. Will they clear it before the mountain? It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. Up the inside goes Jackson. Yes, he clears the back marker, but Milburn doesn't, so that will definitely be advantage Jackson as they head towards the mountain. There's a yellow flag at the chicane now as well. Someone's gone down. Now, that was about the time that Wilfred Turner was going through the chicane. I'm not saying it's him that's gone down, but the yellow flag suddenly appeared just as that little group of bikes were going through. So was that a lapped bike that fell, or was it one of our lead lap runners? Well, we're on to the final lap of the race. Joe Higham is still there because he comes across the start-finish line as the race leader. Second place should still be Thomas Jackson then. Indeed it is, by 0.3 of a second over Milburn. Then Williams is there in 4th. Jonathan Hunt should be next, but he isn't. So it's Jonathan Hunt, I think, that went down because Turner is up into 5th place and number 40, Jonathan Hunt, has not come through. So it looks like we've lost Hunt at the chicane. The yellow flags are in though, so he's up and out of the way. And that means that Wilfred Turner is gifted a 5th place finish then. Doesn't need to worry about passing Jonathan Hunt because Hunt is out of the race. So on to the final lap then. The final remaining question then is whether or not Tom Jackson can hold on to this second position then, because Curtis Milburn is right behind him again as they come through the gooseneck. Now he challenged here a lap ago. He's having another look up the inside, but once more Jackson is a bit later on the brakes. They disappear behind the banking momentarily. They come back out the other side there towards the chicane, still in the same order then. So Jackson now with less than half a lap to go basically to hang on to second place. And he got a good exit there from the chicane as well, so he's pulled a length or so on Milburn as they head towards the mountain. Joe Higham is going to come home to take a race victory. That's good news for him. It will be his 9th of the season, but it isn't quite going to be enough to keep the championship alive. Joe Higham will approach the checkered flag in the next few seconds to take that 9th victory of the year, but behind him a 5th place finish for Wilfred Turner should be enough for the championship. Higham comes across the line, then he takes the checkered flag. A dominant victory as it was yesterday for Joe Higham. Joining him on the rostrum will be Thomas Jackson and Curtis Milburn, and they finish in that order. Benjamin Williams comes home in 4th, but your 2021 NLR Newcomer 600 champion is Wilfred Turner, who will come across the line now, and he has done it then. From the back of the grid, Wilfred Turner finishes in 5th position, and that is enough to wrap up the 2021 title with 2 races to spare. Do show your appreciation to them as they come through, especially our champion-elect then, Wilfred Turner, who I saw was stood up with both hands in the air as he came across the line there to celebrate the championship. He will know that he's done enough. A 5th place finish for Wilfred gives him 11 championship points, which puts him 54 points ahead going into the final 2 races. Here he comes now through Charlie's